I'm an American who gets the rich cultural experience of playing Mobile Legends in the Philippines on the Philippines server. I'm an Esmeralda one trick, and today I'm going to teach you how to hard carry on solo queue. The difference between Esmeralda and other tanky EXP laners is that she's fast as fuck. So her style is more of a hybrid between split pushing, frontlining, and backline diving, depending on the situation. I want to start live streaming, but I need 50 subscribers to be able to hit the live button, so please subscribe. When you only have the first item, you could fight with Esmeralda, but you really only want to go for winning fights, like ones that your team has already started and are doing good in, or mid laner gets out of position, or one of their squishies gets out of position. My first two items, Thunderbelt and Rapid Boots. This makes you extremely fast in the early game and is very forgiving. The slow reduction on Rapid Boots lets you escape pretty much any situation. So you're able to poke enemies and stack the Thunderbelt. Also, you want to farm like crazy at this stage of the game. You should be able to get away with cutting the lane and also going to the mid lane, stealing those minions. A lot of times your mid laner is going to be in the gold lane, so you'll be able to get that lane all to yourself. Even if your mid laner is there, it's still good you're in the middle of the map because you're fast as fuck. And if anything happens anywhere in the map, you'll be able to be there really quickly. So you want to cut the lane, go back to mid, take the lane, see if anything happens, go back to EXP, cut the lane, go back to mid, and just keep repeating that until you have Enchanted Talisman. You also want to be farming Thunderbelt stacks, but don't be greedy. Even if your team is feeding, as long as you haven't fallen behind in gold, you are in control of the game. Once you have Enchanted Talisman, you could be a bit more aggressive, but you still want to be playing mostly defensive and split pushing. You want to be where the enemy EXP laner is not. So if they're staying in the EXP lane, you want to go to the mid lane and give your turret up. If they go to the mid lane, then you want to go to the split push to the EXP lane because you can get there a lot faster than they can. And then you can also go back to mid lane way faster than they can. The whole thing about split pushing, when they go to the lane to protect the turret, they're way behind you. So when you go back to mid lane, it's going to be a 4v5. You're going to have a numbers advantage, or they'll give you a free turret. This could completely dominate losing games because even if they kill your team, if you push the waves, all they're going to be able to do by the time your team comes back alive is defend against your split push. This gives your team a lot of time and chances to make a play. You don't want to just focus on split pushing though. Your team does need you and you are a sustained tank. The key is to know when to fight and when to split push. Usually you'll want to just dive quickly and then disengage just so your presence is felt. Once you get brute force chestplate, it's GG. Then you could solo the entire enemy team. Esmeralda is the strongest in the mid game. That's why you want to focus on farming to get to the mid game as fast as possible, because then you should be the strongest on the map. And if you keep stacking Thunderbelt, you should be able to keep the snowball into the late game. That's why I love the Thunderbelt so much. Getting a lot of Thunderbelt stacks is a win condition. And so is getting up to the brute force chestplate without falling behind. So far in this game, as long as I've had the brute force chestplate, I've had to defend against the Lord. But look at how many minions I've destroyed. If I hadn't been split pushing against the Lord minions, my team would have lost an inhibitor turret by now. Now you could see my confidence goes way up where I go right into the middle of 3 of them and I kill that Navaria.
That was amazing! If only I could forget the past.
I die here, but it's okay because I'm able to stall them from taking the Lord until my team respawns, and I get a lot of Thunderbelt stacks. And we get their snowball jungler low enough to where our jungler can finish them. By the way, it's my goal to be the best Esmeralda in the world. In order to accomplish that, my plan is to just play the most Esmeralda matches that anybody's ever played before. Right now, the record seems to be about 6,800 games. I'm at 2,600 games, so I just need to play like 10 games a day with Esmeralda. Here, their marksman has to go back to answer my split push while his EXP laner is getting killed by my team. Because of the brute force chest plate and my speed and just how tanky the build is, I'm able to go dance in their jungle and zone them away from the Lord and just be a very strong presence in their side of the map that they can't do anything about, as long as I don't try to face their late game marksman head on. If I tried to fight Moskov, I'd probably die. So you want to kite their late game ADC and kind of dance around them, distract them, focus the mid laner. This Moskov got baited by the TP. Get back in your base, boy. Just where the hell do you think you're going, Goosey on? Yeah, get back in there. Get back in there, boy. This is my jungle now, boy. You see, I'm right in all their faces, and they can't do anything. That's the power of all these Thunderbelt stacks. With the Dominance Ice, plus the speed, allows me to tank anything and survive and get away. If the enemy has a composition where they could stun you and then kill you before you're finished being stunned, like if they have a Tigreal, you do gotta watch out for the Tigreal and just make sure they're not in a position to where they could just totally blow you up. My final tip is if they have late game marksmen like a Mia, Layla, Carrie, once you have 2,300 gold, sell your enchanted talisman, buy blade armor, and a magic potion. This way you still have 40% cooldown reduction, but you have blade armor. You got to be a little bit careful with your mana, but you have more than enough mana to just hop right on top of their late game marksman and kill them. Because especially with retribution plus blade armor against marksman, oof, they're gonna get destroyed. And if it's Leslie or Clint, use Guardian Helmet instead of blade armor.